We now return to Etc. 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 And here's your host, Nicole Jacinto.
Okay, welcome back, folks. You know, we actually don't have a whole lot of time left. We have about 10 minutes left, so I'm gonna just kind of rush through this and cut some of the other things that I wanted to discuss today short. But anyway, welcome back to the program. And since there's so much hate and ugliness going on in the Philippines these days, we just decided to talk a little bit about love today. Not that love is devoid of tragedy or conflict. And yes, we do have to address whatever the reality of the situation is. We do have to discuss it, and we do have to make our way through this prevailing culture of ugliness, unsubstantiated accusations, mudslinging, and hate that some of the very people who are supposed to be leading our nation are espousing. It has such a negative effect on everyone as individuals and on society as a whole. But don't worry, this station is here to help bring out the truth, to remain steadfast, while some of the others in the mainstream media choose to be vehicles of propaganda. Sorry, fellow media practitioners, but it's true, and you won't fool people forever. Well, that's my little commentary for the day. I had to stick it in there already because we're running out of time. Now let's get back to talking about love, as I said, and bear in mind, love is often fraught with tragedy and conflict as well. But before we get talking about love, let's do the second set of horoscopes for February 17, 2012. Let's go to Leo. Leo, you are even more generous than usual. I should hang out with my Leo friends today. You are even more generous than usual, which seems a little crazy but is true nonetheless. Those you care about may start to get overwhelmed with all that you give them by the end of the day. Okay, I want to be overwhelmed, Leo. Should really hang out with you. Virgo, things are really weird at home or maybe at work. Is that true? I am looking at a Virgo here in the office. Is that true? Are they weird at home or at work? Wanna hear about it later. Okay, and only you can diffuse this tension. Only you can diffuse the tension. It all depends on you. Now, it could take a joke or it could take a pointed comment, but you know that you can bring things back to normal. Okay, Libra, expect good news. Someone is trying to reach you with an acceptance or bonus that you may have never seen coming. Wow, I wish I were a Libra today. On the other hand, if you know what's coming, you can expect the best possible response. Scorpio, if you feel funny about a particular situation, just relax and follow your instincts, no matter what you're told. No one is lying to you exactly, but everyone is looking out for themselves. I see. So listen to your instincts, and maybe since you're a Scorpio, you can sting them back. Okay, that's the second set of horoscopes for the day. We'll get to the third set a little later on in the program. Now, I wanted to talk about a few of the most celebrated romances or love stories in history. But I don't think we'll have enough time for that. So let's just finish up with some of the historical data we have on Valentine's Day. Now, I don't think we've discussed Lupercalia yet, and I mentioned it earlier, so let's just touch on that briefly. How is the ancient Roman festival of Lupercalia connected to the celebration of Valentine's Day on February 14? Well, actually, there's no hard evidence that directly links Lupercalia to Valentine's Day celebrations, but people have made this connection anyway, and this is probably because the ancient Roman festival of Lupercalia was celebrated during the period between mid-January and mid-February, so it falls in the same month, same time period. Also, in ancient Greece, February was the month of the Gamelion, which was dedicated to the sacred marriage of Zeus and Hera. And as we know, the ancient Romans adopted a lot of the Greek culture. Now, in ancient Rome, they observed Lupercalia from February 13 to 15, and the festival of Lupercalia was an archaic rite connected to fertility. So, maybe that's the connection that people make. Valentine's Day is in February 14, a festival of connected to fertility. Lupercalia, celebrated in ancient Rome, was celebrated between February 13 and 15. So anyway, Lupercalia was celebrated from the 13th to the 15th of February. And also the festival of Juno, and Juno is the Roman equivalent of the Greek goddess Hera, called Juno Februa. See, the word February is somewhere in there anyway. Juno Februa means Juno the purifier or Juno the chaste. And this festival was also celebrated between between February 13 to 15. But as we said earlier, in 496 AD, Pope Gelasius I abolished the festival of Lupercalia. So there we have it. Lupercalia may be connected to why people started celebrating Valentine's Day in a romantic sense, but historians are divided on the subject, and some claim that there's no direct link apart from the dates of the festivals coinciding. Now, St. Valentine's Day was established by Pope Gelasius I to honor one or more saints named Valentine or Valentinus. But when he established the feast day of Saint Valentine, he didn't intend for it to be associated with romance, actually. Rather, he intended it to be associated with more with sacrifice, because the feast of Saint Valentine was meant to observe and honor the sacrifices of martyrs who were named Valentine or Valentinus. Now, Saint Valentine's Day was deleted from the general Roman calendar of saints in 1969 by Pope Paul VI. Now, it still continues to be celebrated or observed as a non-secular working holiday that we associate with romance and expressions of love between lovers. Now, finally, the celebration of Valentine's Day, or the Feast of Saint Valentine, as it still was an official feast day of the Catholic Church at the time, when Pope Gelasius declared it, didn't have any romantic connotations until Geoffrey Chaucer's poetry about Valentines in the 14th century. So it's really actually connected to Chaucer. And in fact, if you read some history or records of Chaucer, and Chaucer fans, like English lit nerds, I'm not really that much of an English lit nerd. I love it, but I can't call myself a nerd because I just don't know as much as they do. They claim that Chaucer invented Valentine's, or Valentine's Day, the celebration among lovers. But anyway, so that's just a summary of all the things we talked about. And let's do the horoscopes before we actually sign off, because we don't have any time left. But we still have about 5 minutes. If you want to call in and just say hello, call us up at 897-8374, 895-4460, or 895-4244. Maybe we can talk about historical romances or love stories some other time. I picked some people like Albert and Victoria, Prince Albert and Queen Victoria, and Jacob and Rachel of the Bible. Maybe we can talk about them some other time because we've run out of time. So let me read the last 4 horoscopes for today, February 17, 2012. Sagittarius, your emotions balance out strongly on the positive side today. Most likely, all that good energy is fueling the fires of joy and excitement. Make something great happen to spread the feeling. Make something great happen. Okay. Capricorn, all seems lost at first today, but if you keep at it despite it all, you should find that things start to look a lot better by the end of the day. By this time tomorrow, you should be golden. Sounds like a dang good horoscope, Capricorn. Aquarius, you need to expand your possibilities today. See if you can get your people to tell you what they're up to. At least one of them is holding a piece of the puzzle that you've been trying to solve for a while. Okay. Pisces, you need to keep that mouth shut at sensitive times today. Wow, okay. It's way too easy to spill the beans or to reveal a little more than you had intended. That social energy is great in other circumstances, though. Pisces, go out and have fun tonight. It is the Friday after Valentine's. It's not that crowded, but it is a Friday, so you should be able to have a good time. Okay, before I go, we would all like to greet Miss Vance Fernandez a happy birthday. And Vance isn't calling in, so I can't talk to her myself. But anyway, happy birthday, Vance Fernandez. I don't know how old you are, but you look like you're about 21, 22. So, and that's just, I'm just guessing there. Anyway, thank you to all of you who tuned in and to all of you who posted on our Facebook page. Don't forget, you can post. Go to facebook.com/DZRJ810am. And you can call us up during the next program. That's Patrick Tulfo's Heart Talk, 897-8374. 895-4460, 895-4244. You can also send us texts by typing RJAM, that's all caps. Leave a space, type your message, and send it to 2256. Sorry, that's all the time we have for today. I'll be back next week. We'll be talking to you throughout the week during the impeachment coverage. Maybe Patrick Tulfo, Attorney Amabel Nye can sit down and, take you through it. Oh, okay. I've just gotten some new information that Vance is 16 today. Sweet 16 today. Sorry, Vance, I made you older than you are. I thought you were 21 or 22, but you're only 16 years old. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll be back next week. And, stay tuned and have a good weekend. Bye now.
DZRJ 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines, has just presented Etc., Etc., Etc. with host Nicole Jacinto.